And we are live. So, I know no one is in channel right now, so I will probably just wait for a minute before actually saying anything, official, but at the same time, I don't know, I guess I should go ahead and point out, this is going to be a different segment from our normal streams. Usually you will see me along with Birdie and Addy playing either Diablo 3 or Rift, but Addy couldn't make it this week, and I've wanted to play this game for a very long time, so I'm going to go ahead and finally go through this. I'm going to try to read as much as possible. May have to enlist Birdie to help out a little bit from time to time. Also, I have a bit of a cold. Well, I don't know if it's a cold, but it definitely feels like it anyway. So, well, how are you over there, Birdie?
Mark. By the way, I'm having to watch this with the game audio turned off because otherwise I had an echo.
Ah, that's fair. How do the line levels sound?
Well, I don't know. Hold on.
Okay, because I can't tell if I'm actually talking over the music well or not. Let's see. Let me go into options, see if there's.
It sounds like it's okay. Because I kind of keep the volume turned down anyway.
I can turn down the master volume just a little bit. See what happens. There we go. Okay, so, shall we go ahead and get started?
Let us sally forth. Don't crash into the ground this time.
And let's see. You know what? I don't get to play female characters enough.
Your mind wakes in darkness. Aching cold sets into an unfamiliar body. A distant howling surrounds you, louder with each passing second. Insistent and invisible hands slap and tear at the membrane that protects you.
I don't like being grappled there.
Your first emotion is an involuntary and formless panic. You feel you have forgotten something important. As if it once meant the world to you. But the details slip away as you grasp at them.
What would be important? A name, maybe?
You force your eyes open.
Dum-de-dum.
Pink, fleshy cocoon surrounds you. Even as you look, a minor rent in its side tears open, and the howling wind forces its way inside. The cocoon rips away, gone before you can grab it, spinning you into a dizzying tumble. You are falling, the world many kilometers beneath you. You catch a glimpse of a curved horizon, and also the ground beneath you that is approaching deceptively quickly. Above you, a small moon is slowly collapsing in upon itself. A corona of acid green and black energy playing around its edges.
Well, that's not creepy. I had forgotten that the moon was eating itself. I'm gonna have to look at that. Nom nom. Are you able to hear the voiceover that's going on?
No, I can't. I have all volume from the incoming Twitch channel turned off because otherwise I have an echo of the audio. Because there's about a 30-second delay.
Oh, okay.
The wind buffets you and burns your eyes, but you don't need to see the details of the faraway ground to know you're in serious trouble. You won't survive.
Kitty Cat's gonna stop by. She's working on her car currently.
Probably fell from a thermospheric height. You struggle to stay focused as the ground rushes toward you.
Okay, so I know not to do that one.
Don't die.
Yeah, no. Alright, let's do this.
You spread your arms and legs, and they respond sluggishly. You stop tumbling head over heels, though you are still spinning.
Stepping off for just a second to go stir soup.
Okay.
And you have space to assess your situation, and perhaps to understand the predicament and the body in which you find yourself.
Hello, person who is lurking. I can't really tell right now. Let me know if I need to adjust the volume for this.
Below you, you see a large landmass. A massive ocean dominates the rest of the visible globe, dotted here and there with island chains. Small moons, unusual structures, and strange machines rush past you in glittering profusion as you plummet toward the ground.
So, from what we can tell right now, there's just one supercontinent on this world, and I'm guessing that there are other spaceships and satellites and everything that have been that I don't know if we get to them or not, but it'll be interesting. Okay.
Dum-de-dum. For the record, I have actually beaten this game. That's definitely not the same as having played through the whole game, because this is very much one of those branching narrative sort of things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry.
For anyone who's listening, I went through with I was mostly blue gold aligned. We'll get to that, what that means in a minute. And I did. My traveling companions were Castiliga, Tiber, and Rin. And I finished Tiber and Rin's storyline. I did not finish Castiliga. I think I missed something in the cliffs. That is where you pick up the thread of her story.
So, I mean, yeah, this branching narrative. We've already been making choices, and we haven't even survived this fall yet. So this will be if you do decide to play this, it will be different unless you actually go through and make the exact same same decisions I make here. Let's see. To this one.
This appears to be a huge megacontinent, the only land of any size on this side of the world at least. Great inland seas and lakes dot the land, and curiously, regular mountain ranges march up and down and across. You are falling toward what looks to be a great bay, a sprawling city perched on its shore just to the north. Further to the north and east, you see a broad plain scattered with curious structures, visible even from this height. The northeastern portion of this land looks to be a desert, a strange blue dot like an eye in its exact center. It seems to hold a city in its watery grasp. To its west is a ring of huge mountains surmounted by enormous carved peaks spewing magma into a central catch basin. What concerns you most right now is the bay below you. It's coming at you quickly.
Let's see. I'll try that one.
You've reached a velocity that could, without irony, best be named terminal. You spread your arms and legs and try to catch a draft, and it looks like you'll hit the bay that's rushing toward you, unless you hit the building in its littered waters. A strange web of colors surrounds you, thrown by a figure standing on the balcony of the structure, but it is effective only at slowing your fall. You strike the building hard enough to crack its crystalline structure, and you hear one of the engines that supports it protest and howl, and the agony of the crash overcomes you, and then darkness.
Why does it have to be darkness? Why is it always darkness? Oh, football practice. Okay.
Let's go.
Wow, I'm really, like... Let's see what we have here.
Yes.
Ah, now I get to actually read! Yay! Okay. Jumbled thoughts cloud your head as you study the empty bowl before you. Drops of liquid fall from the ceiling, spattering on the ground next to the bowl. The light from every drop is reflected in the bowl's rounded hollow, as if it hungers for that light and needs to be filled. Yet the bowl remains dry. Another drop falls from the ceiling and splashes across the pylons, wasted. Let's see. Okay, so this is where we get to start making choices that will determine what our class will be for this thing. Let's take a look. You trace your fingers over the slippery, overlapping scales that spiral up from the bottom of the bowl. The sharp-toothed rim plucks at your skin. It's going to be tricky to move this bowl without slicing your fingers on the edge. You might have to put some effort into it. Reflected light streaks across the surface of the bowl as another droplet falls from the ceiling. Okay. So, might have to put some effort into it. So there is a thing called effort, and we'll do this now. Okay, so here I am. Let's see, 20 health. I have might, speed, and intellect pools each of 5. I don't have any shins, which is your currency. All right.
Stepping away for just a second.
Okay. Hi, Al. All right, so let's see. Ah, and it's going to explain the tutorials there. Let's see. I think I'm gonna keep them... Yeah, let's keep them on. Actually... Nah, you know what? If I need help, I can look later. Yes, I'm going to disable the tutorials. Okay. So, with a might pool of 5, if I roll to try to succeed at this task, I've got a 60% chance of completing it. If I step up to... if I spend 1 point of might, that'll give me an 80% chance. If I spend 2 points, that'll give me 100%. Let's try just spending 1 and seeing what happens. No! The edge of the bowl tears at your flesh. You seize it. You grit through the pain, though, hauling the bowl over the glowing pool of fallen light. Took 1 damage to health pool.
It's an owl.
Okay, so... This is one of those things that it's going to happen. It just changes certain things depending upon how, if you succeed or fail. So instead of the light being white, it's going to be red. Because blood. Blood trails from your fingers into the hungry depths of the bowl. Drop by drop, it fills your blood, mixing with the light until the air itself takes on a strange reddish hue. Ripples spread over the blurred outline of your reflection. Oh, goody! That means I get to look into it, don't I? A sanguine radiance spills across the segmented floor, washing away the nearest shadows, and pouring into your mind, melting the ragged edges of your fragmented thoughts. You are not whole, not yet, but you have begun to heal from the damage done in your long fall. A voice calls out from somewhere high above, beyond the reaches of the spreading light. Hello? Are you still alive down there? We're up here. Build a path up to us and be careful. I don't know why that voice just took on Concord from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Anyway, what do we have here? Oh wow, I can actually overturn it? No.
Yes.
Maybe?
I'm ready.
BRB continuing food summoning.
I'm going.
Alright. As soon as you touch the orb, a memory floods your mind. Ah, we get to make more choices. Yay! You stand in front of a rusted door. The air is humid and dank. You've had a moment's respite from this waterlogged hell. A bubble of stale air, your resting point. You've breathed water before, and you've lived decades beneath the waves, but this body's an air breather, and the constant pressure has been crushing you ever so subtly. Worse, your companion's mind seems to be wandering from the task at hand. He's a genius with machines, as you well know, but now he seems distracted. The device in his hands is covered in knobs, wires, and antennas. He believes it can get the two of you through the corroded door, but he's merely staring at it. Perhaps he's lost faith in his invention, but that's hardly your concern. The mission cannot be delayed. It must proceed. Oh, yeah, sorry if I sound weird. I am currently fighting all of the allergies. Alright. Let's see. You can either... okay. So... Huh. You can either be mean, be tricky, or... Okay, what do I want to be? Because to me that says Jack, Glaive, and Nano. Spoiler alert: the three base classes from Numenera. What do I want to be? I think I will... Yeah, let's do that. Your words echo clearly, and he looks up, surprised, as you cut through his indecisive daze. He grimaces and says, "Alright, we'll be through the door before they catch up." His fingers make minute adjustments to the knobs and blinking levers of the device, and the stale air of your bubble freshens as the door swings open. A dark hallway lies beyond, a passage that links the water-bordered cells, and the aquatic viewing areas. What you seek lies there. Moments later, you're underwater again, your hands closing around a strange yet familiar artifact. You need it to complete something. It hovers above a pedestal, rotating in the dark water. An electric current runs through your fingers as your hand crosses the vertical plane of the pedestal, and an iridescent field coalesces so fast that the wave of pressure dazes you for a moment. The rising pulse of a sonar alarm ripples through the water. The guards won't be far behind. Let's see. Yeah. You run urgent fingers over the devices fastened to your waist, a fog rising in your mind. A few can be used against the guards, but will also turn your skin to synth steel, or the surrounding water to boiling wax. Hardly ideal. Finally, you find a small silver sphere. Setting the sphere in place, you kick desperately for the safety of a nearby alcove. The sphere whirls and unfolds into a spiraling vortex. The sphere at its center speaks a few polite words in an ancient language, and begins draining the surrounding water into itself with alarming speed. The approaching guards shout, then scream as they, too, are sucked into the whirlpool and ripped to pieces. You allow yourself a fleeting smile, but are all too aware that more alarms are going off in the distance. The memory begins to fade, as if you were being drawn backward through a tunnel, and you hear more pylons rising from the pit. Something is wrong. The events within the orb have settled into that gap in your mind, but the edges of it are rough, as though the memory itself is not truly yours. There's something else, a gust of sour air pulling at you, like a predator inhaling the scent of its prey at the far end of a dark, whispering field. Oh, geez, I'm going to be reading for a while, aren't I?
Yeah.
Ready.
Stepping away again.
Let's go.
Mirror looks strange, as though what you're seeing it is real, and you're the reflection. I'm thinking that's where you You head out. Oh, that's not a spoiler at all. Light around the door's frame dims and flares like a roaring fire in a high wind.
All right.
High wind? As in Sid Highwind? Let's take a look at this one. No sign or symbol tells you what might be behind this enormous door. A dull chill radiates from its bronze-segmented surface, and the thick metal wheel seems frozen in place. So you've got fire over here, you've got something frozen over here. What's this one? Countless scratches and wounds mar the surface of the door. Someone made a great effort to get inside to no avail. Whoops. Okay.
I'm going.
You stand beside a woman on a verdant crag. Beneath the two of you is a broad plateau towering above the overgrowth far below. Strange machines have been built into the cliffside, presumably for reconnaissance or defense. A metallic disc gleams from the center of the plateau. You're self-aware, humanoid machines drill into the base of the cliffs below. If you were looking for a sanctuary, and you were desperately, this seems like the right place. I don't know about this, the woman says, her voice flat, neutral. Her face is turned away from you. What makes this place any more secure than the other ones we found? Let's see. So, this could probably be a... We've already started making choices for our class. Now we have to go to our descriptor, which that could be... let's see, I mean, it could be wise or charming or... what would that one be? Help experienced, I guess. Let's see. I'll go with that one. You shade your eyes against the bright sun so that you can point out the thin bands radiating out from the metallic disc. How the energy from those bands affect the local fauna, suggesting an enormous source of prior world energy. She thinks deeply. It's geologically sound. Have you run the sounding samples and checked the strata? No major caverns or weaknesses showed up on your resonance scans? I don't know. She waits for your affirmation and says, "Alright, I'm convinced." The two of you sketch your plans for the sanctuary, drawing schematics and architectural diagrams. Then you descend onto the plateau to examine the open ground. The woman suggests having one of the servitors build a shelter for your time here. You try to draw one of the constructs away from its task, but it doesn't respond to your voice. When you lay a hand on its shoulder to reinforce your command, it whirls and strikes you across the face with inhuman speed. It turns back to its task, ignoring you. Your companion helps you rise, laughter in her eyes. It seems your construct has other ideas. What's the matter with it? Oh, boy. Let's see. I like that one. A mist falls onto the plateau as you wrap a fiber shielding mesh around the construct's skull. The mesh powers up, protecting the construct's mind from any transdimensional emissions that might be in the area. Taking a deep breath, you repeat your command. Acknowledged. It obediently trundles to the site of your new shelter. So I'm guessing there isn't really a wrong way to choose what you do. It's just, you know, this is all just character building. I've only ever done this one other time, so it's a little, like, I feel like I'm playing this fresh anyway. Like, I remember bits and pieces of the first act, but it'll be fun. The image freezes, then fades, and you feel the memory filling the gap in your mind, block by jagged block. You stagger, clutching your head. Reclaiming your memories hurts. And once more, there's something else. Hairs lift one by one on the back of your neck. Something beyond this room can sense what you're doing and is hunting you. Oh, good.
I'm ready.
Let's see. Nope, that's still the same. Okay. Nothing else there either. Alright.
I'm ready.
A vision of a city springs up around you. Your city in flames and under attack. Her defenders have fought and died all day, and still the attackers keep coming. They fight as if your destruction were demanded of them. They care nothing for mercy, surrender, or plunder. What they want is blood. But you have brought a keen-eyed companion to the top of the tower. She has seen the way to stop the invaders. You need to get her to safety, and you need to rally your defenders. But even as you turn toward the door of the tower, 2 of the attackers descend from a hovering machine. You don't have time to strike at them before they land. One is brutishly large, his weapon a vibrating axe. The other is slim, sheathed in glassy armor, and holding a hilt with a sizzling, invisible blade. Your companion backs away. She's too young to help. Your enemies advance single file, confined by the parapet. That one. Because there's duck in the answer. That's why I chose it. You roll under the blurring arc of his axe. He's overconfident, testing you without committing to the attack. Yes, he's fast, but not as fast as you are. And when he raises the great axe above his head to finish you, you're able to bury your blade under his breastplate. The blade emerges from the back of his neck, and his life's blood washes over your hands. He falls, taking your weapon with him, and his companion attacks. Her invisible blade is far more lethal than the giant's axe. You duck as she thrusts at you, and the wall behind you hisses, destroyed. Her return swing cuts through your armor, ruining your breastplate. She doesn't have to be skilled with a weapon like this. She just has to make contact. You time your attack just as she pulls it back for another strike. You barrel into her, driving her over the wall, and she drops screaming to the ground 50 meters below. Did she drop the blade? Because that's a really cool blade. The immediate threat ended. You focus on finding a way back to your allies. You open the tower door and rush down the stairs. The door at the base of the stairs is slightly cracked, opening just a bit into the hall, and you hear more of the enemy soldiers beyond. Let's see. So do I want to be sneaky? Give that a try. Yeah. You press yourself against the gleaming door, easing it open, and your breath catches in your throat as it squeaks quietly, the sound like a bell in your memory. You pause, but the soldiers in the hall continue to talk. You push again, squeeze yourself through the narrow opening, and creep down the blood-stained hall. The memory begins to fade, and you find yourself back in your own body. Your temples throb with the racing force of your heartbeat, and the reclaimed memories blaze within you, like a bonfire on a mountain peak, visible to every predator for kilometers around. A tremor rocks the floor beneath you, as though a massive fist has struck the room itself. Swaying on your feet, you see frantic movement within the borders of a mirror at the edge of the room. Oh, so now we finally get to go over here. Okay.
On it.
Okay. I'll be right back. I feel like I'm so stuffy right now, so I'm gonna take care of that real quick, and We'll see what happens when I click on the mirror. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. Well, I feel a little bit better. See how long this will last me.
Let's go.
Yes, let's go. The border of this mirror is lavishly decorated with a dizzying number of interlocked symbols, daggers, masks, paintbrushes, amulets, and more. But that's nothing compared to what you see in the glass. You see a vast crowd of people, exact doppelgangers of you, shoving, arguing with, and fighting each other. Most are drab imitations of you, but a precious few are vivid and pull at your attention. Each of them bears an intricate pentagonal tattoo on their head. In their eyes, their actions, you see the memories you discovered within the orbs, and the choices you made shining like distant stars. Your hand twitches at your side, and though some of the bright doppelgangers ignore you, an even smaller number immediately turn to you, waiting for you to choose them and learn what you might become. A rumble shakes the room, and a slow vibration spreads from the darkness below, rippling toward the ceiling. Okay. Wow, I have a number of choices here. Let's see. Huh.
I know. Did you, Teddy?
Ah, thank you, Speedy. Ah, homemade chicken noodle soup. By the way, this stream is brought to you 100% absolutely brought to you by Birdie's Cooking. Alright. Take a quick breath of that. Alright. So I remember we're not actually making the choice here. We're just going to get a little glimpse into each of these, and then I can make my choice after that. So let's just start at the top. Falling into a wary, well-balanced crouch, the doppelganger creeps towards you, scanning its surroundings with suspicious eyes. Each movement it makes is slow, subtle, and deliberate. Unfolding from the crouch, the doppelganger waits for your decision. Yeah. Okay. The doppelganger makes his way over to you. It's about to speak when a thuggish figure charges out of the crowd and shakes his knife in the doppelganger's face. Speaking in your voice, the doppelganger raises a calming hand, appealing to the thug's better nature with a combination of disarming wit and outright lies. Scowling, the thug lowers his knife and apologizes to the doppelganger for the trouble. Okay. So far, we've got... yeah, these must be the descriptors. Cautious, clever, mystical, stealthy. The doppelganger shoulders its way through the crowd, casually donning an 8-fingered glove. What? Then it digs its fingers into the glass between you. With a grunt, it tears a hole in the surface shaped like a pointed ear. Carefully, the doppelganger speaks an unfamiliar word into the ear, and the ground itself seems to turn, as if you're standing inside the door the doppelganger has just opened. When you look around, the hole has disappeared, and nothing has changed. Or has it? Okay, that's freaking creepy. Okay. I'm creeped out now. Alright. You blink, and the doppelganger is gone. Or so you think at first, for you can hear, just for a second, a low chuckle somewhere behind you. When you finally blink, it stands before you once more, behind the glass where it belongs, and waiting for your decision. Okay. Bird, are you back on?
Yes.
So, I remember the stealthy doppelganger, and I think I remember the cautious doppelganger, but I don't remember the other two. I don't think I've ever gotten those before.
I honestly don't know. It's been so long.
What about you, Al? Have you ever gotten all of those choices before? As I eat away at some chicken noodle soup. Alright. I think there's a kitty that's sad. I think I'm going to go with the mystical symbol because that seems really weird, and I like that. The doppelganger's shoulders.
I like that.
I'm sorry?
I was gonna say I like that idea.
Okay. Alright, I've already read through all this. And there. Mystical. Okay. The remaining doppelgangers scatter for the edges of the mirror and vanish. Your chosen identity steps forward. Its appearance changes as it steps out of the rippling glass. Its face reflects confidence and cleverness. Shadows of weapons flicker in and out of its hand, and a few devices shimmer on its belt. You get the feeling you, would be comfortable in a variety of situations. The word Jack sounds in your mind. Yep, that's what I was wanting to go for. This'll be fun.
Much better.
Your doppelganger continues walking, stepping into you, filling you, making you whole. Kinky. Your decision rings out into the cavernous room, awakening and unlocking vast mechanisms behind the walls. Suddenly, a grotesque noise rings through your shared worlds, like a bell, if bells could rot. Something is coming. I'm sorry. Like, that's right up there with the ships hung in the air the same way that bricks don't.
I kind of love that description. That just makes me really happy.
Alright. The mirror fades, leaving a dark open doorway. You take a deep breath and step through. Alright! Yay! Alright, I am a mystical jack with ooh. Oh, that's some inabilities. Okay, in heavy weapons or intimidation. Yeah, that makes sense. Trained. Okay. Cipher use increases the cipher limit by 2. And plus 15% bonus per level on difficult tasks marked with mystical lore. Okay. So, based on what I've chosen so far, it says I should go with Jack. Two abilities at tier 1, one ability at each later tier, one exploration skill at each tier. What is this one? Choose one exploration, lore, or conversation skill. Plus one training level in that skill while active. Okay.
Can I give you some advice?
Yeah, sure.
A really good one is the one that There's one that allows you to read minds. You want that one.
Does that like give you more conversation options or?
Yes.
Okay.
It gives you more conversation options, and it also just generally, you find out more about the characters that make. To me, it not only, it did give you a little bit of advantage, but the lure of it to me is the fact that it gives you just more information about the world.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, all right. I'm gonna stay as the Jack. I played a Nano before, and it was all right. If I was going to play this, like if I was going to play a regular tabletop game, I would probably go as a glaive just to start out. But let's see how I do as a Jack. Let's see. 4 points and 3 pools to spend them in. Let's see. Might represents physical strength, resilience. Speed is dex and reaction times. Mental prowess, willpower, and personality. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. And how about...
I went intellect because, again, conversation options, and
Yeah.
I went the non-combat route. I think I only ever fought things like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide how I'm gonna do that. Like, if I want to focus more on conversation as opposed to actually fighting.
I mean, in my humble opinion, the fighting is not fun. Because it's not really a game where it's a little bit of, if you end up in a fight, you've screwed things up.
Right.
Like you can actually stop combat and try and talk your way out of a situation that has already escalated to violence. Which I think is really cool, and is also the message of you really aren't supposed to be fighting. Like, you can, but I think it's more fun and more true to the experience to not fight.
I find that, I love your observation of that, because the way that the tabletop game is designed, when you're actually in combat itself does not give you XP. And if you do want to be in combat, there are very, very simplistic descriptions of how you can do certain things, and that's not the way the game is supposed to be played. It's supposed to be for exploration, and it's not just exploring mines or relics. It could also be exploring people, and so I like that, and I think I'm going to go ahead and go into just to see how different that's going to be for my experience. Okay, abilities. I'm sorry if you're hearing... Inara is trying to get inside the door to the other room. Because, yeah, she's a little special. Alright. Trained without armor or practiced in armor? 2 points remaining. Let's see. What do we have here? Sucker Punch. Infuse Weapon. Hedge Magic. Okay, I like that one. And I think I'm going to go trained without armor. Because the less I have to worry about inventory, the better. An exploration skill. Provides benefits to any tasks and challenges you may come across, increasing your odds of success while using them. Now, like, I could actually... Nope. Yeah, I could actually take away my inability for intimidation if I really wanted. Let's see. Is this one? On difficult tasks marked with this skill, can access the memories of previous consciousnesses. This skill represents your focus and acumen when attempting to recall those experiences. So I've got this one already. Could do this, could do persuasion, just to have more conversation choices. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay. Only Glaives receive training in weapon skills, that's fine. Okay, now I can change my descriptor if I really want.
I do wonder, I think if this one might be the, be where you pick up the ability to read minds. But that might be an ability, I can't remember. And thus it might be a nano-only thing.
I don't know.
What is observant?
Pay attention to the smallest details. +1 in perception. -1 in running. +1 in concentration.
Yeah, I guess that must be just a nano-only thing.
Maybe.
Because yeah, that is so handy.
Let's see. Yeah, no. Yeah,
Anyway.
let's stick with mystical. Ah, there's the symbol. Alright, time to read again. Okay.
Back.
Everything about this spectral figure seems dreamlike. He is a hazy silhouette who seems to be made of blue glass smoke. He wears stylish, well-cut clothes. His handsome, bearded face seems hauntingly familiar, though you've never seen him before. He breathes a sigh of relief when he sees you. We weren't sure that would work. We pooled our strength and channeled it through me to reach you, to wake you up. He glances at the other figures here and frowns unhappily. It took more out of them than we thought. The other reflections, they're more like shadows now. Look, I'll bet you've got a lot of questions. This whole place is basically your mind. Your body's still out there in the real world, healing from that fall. You need to get out there and finish the process. He shrugs. It shouldn't be too hard. Oh, boy. Let's see. Who are those people? You call them reflections? Well, that's what they are. As I said, it's your mind. You'll find reflections of people you knew, people you met in the real world, and with whom you shared some kind of psychic connection. I don't know how or why, it just happens. Let's see. This place in my mind, why don't I remember any of this, any of you? It's your mind, a construct built to, I don't know, share thoughts, store your true self. Wait, you know how people say, in the first place? This is definitely the first place of your memory. Well, it was the first place for me, anyway. You'd probably know better, since it's yours. If you don't remember now, maybe it'll come to you later. Excuse me. You said I had to finish the process. What do you mean by that? After you wake up from this dream state and attune to the tides, you'll need to find something called a resonance chamber. Your body should have landed somewhere near it. Just climb inside that and everything will be fine. Oh, just do this. It's called this. You know, it'll be fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. How are you?
Awkward cough.
Yes. Let's talk about the tides.
Don't look at me. I know nothing.
Excuse me. Tides are like a force, like gravity or magnetism or something, except they respond to people's actions and perceptions. Your body, that is your body in the real world, needs the tides to survive. It's not something you need to worry about. Your body will attune as it wakes up. Don't worry, it's just something like the Force, and it'll take over, and everything will be fine, and... Oh, God. It's good soup. What's a resonance chamber? I remember pieces about it, but not the whole. It's a crystal sarcophagus. I remember it having 5 mechanical arms around it and a metal ring set in the floor. I think we were aiming for it when we fell. When you open your eyes in the real world, it should be nearby. I'm smelling a lot of if coming off of this. Yes, let's talk. Let's ask about the hunting thing. Sorry, Bird, you were gonna say something?
Oh, I was just gonna, again with the awkward cough.
He closes his eyes. That's a memory I don't want to recall. Large, black, furious. It's our death. It's the sorrow. He closes his eyes. I hope it's lost interest in you. If it finds us, we're done for. Oh, don't mind that. That's just the big bad. I hope it'll never show up.
Impending bad guy entrance in 10.
Stand by to bad guy.
Bad guy standing by.
Alright, how do you know all this? I'm just a part of you. I look at you and I know. This place was made for you, for us. And I remember pieces of knowledge that come to me when you ask your questions, but that's all. Alright. So how do I get back? There's a portal down there. It'll take you back to your body. Just step through it, and the whole tides thing should take care of itself. He crosses his arms. When you wake up, find the resonance chamber and activate it. Then we can... What in the hells is that?
Go on, bad guy.
Now, sorrow is anchored to those reflections. It's devouring their power. Because this is the tutorial! We have to get rid of them, destroy its anchors, or else the sorrow will erase us forever. Okay. That reflection near you, kill it, you'll loosen the sorrow's anchor. Okay. Let's see, what do I have? hide. Exploration work. Okay, I've got no items. Okay. It's a 65% chance. That's 85. There we go. Oh, who invited the squids? Alright. Attack is out of range. Excuse me. Let's move to here. Because I can actually attack, so...
Let's go.
There's my move. And... end. Stop with the squids! Weapon bonus plus 15%? Really? Wow, okay. Well, that 85%'s working pretty good for us so far. Oh no, an infection! I think that green arrow means that there's some kind of resistance. Let's see. Oh. Huh. Well, that sucks. I'm not gonna make that no matter what I do. I think that's a curse word. Grab that piece of mirror glass. It might have enough residual energy to kill the reflection. Ah!
Yay, made up curse words, my favorite.
All right.
What, you didn't like it during Battlestar Galactica when they kept saying frack all the time?
I didn't mind that so much because, like, it sounded enough like the word fuck that it was like, yeah, I sort of overwrote it in my head that it's just like, yeah, they're saying fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Battlestar Galactica was before there were, you know, that show honestly would have been on Netflix and not on Sci-Fi if it had come out, you know, 8 years later.
Right. Ah, there we go. Da 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 da. You pried it loose. That thing is a cancer, an infection. It's unstoppable, but you stopped it. What? I don't know if I can hear you, Bird. I don't know if you're still using your push to talk or not.
I'm back.
Oh, okay.
I had to go look at the fuzzy princess.
Oh, of course. Let's see. He holds his head in his hands. I can't believe it found us in here. Oh, no. That thing, the sorrow, it's been hunting you. It's what killed you in the first place. It'll keep hunting you until you activate the residence chamber. I didn't remember until I saw it, but that's why the chamber is so important. You have to get back and activate the chamber before it's too late.
Awkward cough.
You know, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say that the Spectre is the bad guy. At least that's what I would do if I was writing this. The portal to your body is that shimmering dome there. Go, now!
Whistles nonchalantly.
Fine. All right.
Where did she fall from? Her body's smashed to talk. It's a wonder she's still breathing.
All I saw was a corona, not her origin point. But look, she's healing already. Spontaneous regeneration.
Okay. So now we get to have the little bit of pronunciation.
So apparently I had always been pronouncing the name of the woman in red with the mirror images as Castiliga. And then I started hearing other people pronouncing it, you know, in conversation, and everyone else I ran across pronounced it Calistege. And I don't know why it bugged me, and I would have, if Monty Cook had been at Dragon Con this year, I actually would have gone and asked Monty Cook, you know, okay, final word, how is it pronounced? But our roommate, who is kind of a whiz with languages, went and did some digging, and apparently it is very, very similar to a Greek word, Calistiga, which is many beauties. And since she has multiple images, we have to, I mean, I really kind of think that the name is actually taken from the Greek word.
Yeah.
So it's a hard G. So
I think it was
100% right, but yeah.
So it was
Calistiga.
I thought he was pronouncing it Calistigi.
Yeah, that was it.
Calistigi. Okay. That's gonna be one I'm gonna have to like say almost every single time before I start playing this game. So, all right. Just finished my soup, so whew, okay. What was that? What did you do, Calistigi? His tone has become accusatory, suspicious. You open your eyes. The first thing you notice is this man's kaleidoscope of tattoos writhing across his forearms. He wears a long dark coat, belted at the waist, supplies filling the pockets. His boots are worn and stained with years of travel. You blame me? She emitted an internal physiological reaction in response to the fall. Probably related to that fantastic healing process. Obviously, Allegern. Her voice rolls and hisses, and you have to rub your eyes to be sure that you're not seeing double. Faint echoes of her actions trail from her, each nearly mimicking her, though some act and react to stimuli that you can't perceive. Her vivid hair and outrageous clothing remain constant through these shadows. Oh yes, it's obvious, Calistigi. His voice is grim and clipped. Then he sees you looking at him. You're no ordinary mortal, we know that much. Start talking. His face is hard and set. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do different voices right now, simply because of the allergies, but I'll keep giving it a try as we go forward. Let's see. I don't want to do the repeating one. Well, we know their names. We know how she got there. Let's go with the interesting option. Was I dead? You fell an incredible distance. Not quite dead. You fell an incredible distance, yet here you are, talking. Do you really not... You don't know, do you? I'm starting to think you're not her. Starting to think, Aligern. Tell me, is it a novel experience? I like her already.
She's such a bitch, I love her.
It's her face. I've never seen any other people rebuild themselves like that. Only the changing god could have healed so quickly. He sighs and rubs his face, trying to regain his composure. Maybe you could help me for a change. You know what this means to me. You're familiar with the word changing, Aligern. It implies inconstancy. Thus, the changing god may well have changed. Several versions of her... Okay, for those of you who will be watching later on, that is a quote from the musical The Mystery of Edwin Drood. And that was... Oh, geez. Which characters were that? What was...
That was the chairman and Mr. Jasper.
And like, there's one bit, or, like... Mr. Jasper goes through this whole bit of, things that he's going to do and things that he has to do, and then at the end he says, "But first I must change. Good day, sir."
Goodbye.
Alright. Several versions of her shrug, and she addresses you. You'll have to forgive him. He believes you're someone he once knew, even though it's painfully obvious to anyone that you're newly born. Her most solid self curtsies while others bow or spin. I, and my sisters, am Callistigi. This is Aligern. We are explorers, knowledge seekers. That's how we came to be in this room. If I'm not mistaken, you are what we call a cast-off. I thought the caption over here gave it away. The changing god created you, body and mind. Your sire used your body for a time, then abandoned it for reasons of his own. When his mind departed for a new experience, you were born in his cast-off shell. Oh, boy. So many questions. Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Who is the changing god? Not to be confused with the smiling god.
I personally follow the glow cloud. All hail.
All hail. That's something coming from you. She gives him a sidelong glance. The changing god is your sire, dear. He discovered a path to immortality long ago, a means to transfer his self to a new body of his own creation. I don't think he knew, however, that when he abandoned one body, another mind was birthed to fill the void. Oh, he knew all right. He eyes you up and down coldly. The only thing the changing god cares about is himself. He doesn't give a single thought for those he leaves behind. Oh, is someone hurt? Oh, boy. We know your creator through legend and research. He's taken the form of men, women, visitants, and other things. His form is fluid, as his name suggests, but the stories about the changing god always refer to him. It's easier, Alagern shrugs. You are a woman. The changing god is himself. Oh, lovely. Can you vague that up a little for me? Alright, so let's see. Are there others? Dozens. Hundreds. Who can say? Your sire has been doing this for several centuries. Though if all of them were born the way you claim to have been, it's a wonder any of them survive. Is it just me, or is he always gonna be an asshole?
Kind of. I didn't do any of his story, so I don't know what his backstory is. You have to pick, no, spoiler alert, you have to pick between him and Castiligi, and I chose her.
Let's see. Okay, so you say I was born when the changing god left, but why am I not dead? I used a cipher to slow your fall further, but the damage still would have killed an ordinary person. But think about it. If you're the kind of person who can make your body into anything you want, what do? If you've constructed bodies for centuries, you want to make each one better than the last. You want to live forever. You're not going to let your life end by accident. No, you'll make strong bodies, fast, powerful, maybe throw in regeneration while you're at it. The changing god has always been vain. He rarely stays long in a shell that doesn't suit his self-image. She looks you up and down, her smile suddenly unnerving. Perhaps the changing god fled because he didn't want to wear those scars of yours. Hey! Let's see. Let's ask where he is now. If he abandoned your body, then his consciousness fled to another. Oh, do stop! The look she gives Alagern is equally piercing, amplified by the withering glares of her sisters. If there's one thing we know about the changing god, dear, it's that he always has a contingency. This child was born here. The object of your obsession will have been reborn somewhere else. Let's see. Let's ask about the tides, because we need more info about the tides. I've heard that term before, a subject your sire studied in great depth. I'm afraid it isn't my field of inquiry. Well, fine. How can you be sure? You mean aside from your miraculous reformation? For one thing, there's your tattoo. All cast-offs have one, though its purpose is beyond me. And then, of course, there's your delicious navite. She could be faking it. You don't live hundreds of years without learning to lie convincingly. Oh, for... She sighs in exasperation and says to you, what do you think? Are you a newborn child, or are you a powerful immortal whom death has robbed of his memories? Alagern crosses his arms and growls, fine. What do you think?
I am curious what happens if you decide to impersonate the changing god.
I did have that spoiled for me.
Oh, what happens? Because I probably will never play that playthrough.
I think, if the spoiler is true, I think you stop forgetting, if you keep saying that you're the changing god, your memories start changing to fulfill that, to the point where I think the changing god will show up. Or something like that.
Interesting. Okay, so that's a callback to Planescape Torment. The the nameless one, so people ask you who you are, and of course you can give various forms of the answer. I don't fucking know. But one option you are given is to say you have the name Adon, and eventually you start becoming this made-up person, and I think you eventually beat them.
Yeah, I could be wrong. At some point, maybe I will play that one. I think I'm gonna stick with being a cat. You know, I think I must be a cast-off. Yeah, we'll just see what happens. He's non-committal, but it's clear he doesn't believe you. Do you not remember sparking the endless battle? Do you not remember leading Sega's cliffs against the Tabat when they came to slaughter us centuries ago? His voice trembles a little, but he retains an iron control over his face. Do you truly not remember me? No! I'd remember that asshole of a personality. She laughs scornfully. Even if she were the changing god, you're not likely to trip her with simplistic questions like that. You should help him, guide him. One way or another, it's the wisest path. At least it's the way I think is best, Aligern. Her smile drips venom. He looks away and his composure slips a little. God, you're so rancid sometimes, Callistigi. Let's talk about that. The blast of energy. As I was telling my colleague, it was obviously a physiological reaction of some kind. I've never witnessed the birth of a cast-off, but yes, it could very well have been caused by your is it nascent? Nascent consciousness. Don't worry, I don't believe it caused any real harm. Not to me, at least. Really? You've been more abrasive than ever since we came in here. He shoots her a sidelong look. She just can't empathize with other people unless she's experimenting on them. Let's see. Oh, we talked about that. We talked about that. That. Yeah, let's talk about the. Yeah, let's talk about what was going on in her mind. With how hard you hit the ground, I'm surprised that's all you saw. Aw, man, sucks. Okay. Why do you seem to hate the changing god so much? The ghost of a smile touches his mouth as if he's privy to a joke, but it doesn't reach his hard eyes. He's lived longer than anyone in the Ninth World. Hasn't been much of a philanthropist in all that time. He's helped some people, sure, but it's always been in his own self-interest. He's gotten away with a load of skist over the years. Yay, more cursing in other languages. Let's see. Where are we? Okay. A sanctum of your sires. The common belief is he has several such places throughout the Ninth World, possibly other worlds as well. We were only just able to gain entry to this one because of your grand entrance. Their entrance was good, hers was better. Difference? Showmanship.
Heard.
Alright, what can kill me? Oh, an excellent question! Having seen your regenerative abilities in action, I suspect they are primarily physical, or regrowth. If that's the case, you'd be unable to survive most varieties of psychic or molecular decomposition, disintegration, conflagration, and so forth. Degenerative diseases could pose a problem, and I know of several entities capable of psychic destruction. As she speaks, a vision flashes into your mind. It's not yours, exactly. Somehow you know this is a memory of the changing gods. You are in a dark room, lit by a myriad of blinking lights and holograms from the many machines surrounding you. What about a body that can withstand the sorrow's attacks? Says a voice. It seems to be coming from one of the machines. No, you reply. The thing has no respect for barriers of any kind. Physical, temporal, psychic. This is the only way. With a series of gestures, you bring up an image of a crystalline pod. If the resonance chamber works, it'll give us the power to stop the Sorrows hunt once and for all. We just need the right focal point, a catalyst. The memory fades. Callistiki is still talking. You realize that the device you saw in the memory is identical to the one behind you now. It looks just like the Spectre described it. A transparent sarcophagus inside a crystalline dome, with mechanical arms arrayed around it on a metal ring. Unfortunately, the dome is shattered. The sarcophagus is cracked, and one of the arms is in pieces on the floor. Whatever its function, it clearly needs repair. Or flesh-eating viruses. One presumes disfigurement by the iron wind would likewise be devastating enough to... I think she gets the point, Callistiki. Okay! I was waiting for someone to mention the iron wind.
Yes, you actually run into the iron wind in the bloom.
Oh, fuckberries. Okay. So... I honestly have no idea if anyone is actually in the channel, but in case anyone decides to watch this later on, the Iron Wind, think of a floating, erratic cloud of nanites that can change anything it touches into anything else in existence.
Hi, raccoon. I see you lurking.
Yeah, I'm not able to actually take a look at who is in the channel just by the way everything's set up. So, hi, raccoon. Yeah, the Iron Wind is one of the scariest entities I've ever heard of in the Ninth World. But it's fun to write. Okay. Let's see. Do either of you know anything about the sorrow? I've had my share of sorrows, but never the sorrow. What's that? A disease? Her mouth compresses in a tight line. I know nothing about it. Bullshit! Sorry, I was a little dusty. Must be the allergies. Let's see. Saw a vision of myself. I saw you stare into space while Callistiki graphically described all the ways you could die, but that's about it. He snorts. I only noticed because I did the same thing. Oh, good, Raccoon. I'm really glad that that you're with us watching this. I'm hoping the pacing isn't too slow, but there's a lot to read. Let's see. Do either of you know how to fix that crystal chamber?
This game is so cool, especially if you're really, really into storytelling, and you don't even really have to worry about spoilers because you can just make different choices because it's very, very branching narrative fun time.
Allegorn chuckles, then, firm and certain, he says, not likely. Though it might not be impossible. You need people with the appropriate knowledge. I'm sure the cult of the changing god will hold the answer. Her distaste is evident in the expressions of her echoes, although the face of the one in the lead remains carefully impassive. You turn to the insane to help a newborn. Where's your judgment, Allegorn? I would take her to the Order of Truth. The Order of Truth? Are you mad? They would sooner take us apart. Okay. Let's talk about the Order of the Truth. The Order of Truth.
I'm having milk and cookies. BRB.
Ooh, milk and cookies sounds like a great thing. Knowledge seekers. The learned who try to wrest secrets from the hearts of the prior worlds. They gather in the city to exchange their findings and help humanity to build a brighter future. She smiles brightly. Our friend Allegorn here was once one of them. Frauds. quacksalvers and charlatans. They don't have all the answers, and I'd not trust them with the changing God's secrets. You're just angry that they couldn't help you with yours. Her echoes tinkle laughter. But I'm being too cruel, dear Allegern. Let us take our new friend to the Order. What about the cult of the changing God? Despite what she says, they're not insane. They're eccentrics. She laughs, but he soldiers on. They're worshippers of, well, of you or your sire, the changing God. They devote their lives to understanding your kind. Yeah, we're gonna go to the Order of Truth. Also, to anyone that actually that saw the I had to explain this to Birdie before we got started. If any of you saw my post on Tumblr, or even what the title of this of the stream is, there is a word that the Order of Truth uses in greeting, also as a farewell or as well-wishing. It is pronounced Yadisi. It is a shibboleth of sorts, which roughly means, I am one who understands, and I recognize that you are one that understands. And it's, the understanding is, I think it's left up to interpretation, but I think it's also a, just a way of, that person understands more of what the world is and what it was than what is normally seen. So let's go to the Order of Truth. Of course. Once I provide an introduction to the priest, we'll have your chamber fixed in no time. You'll end up without your clothes that are broken in a ditch while she laughs it off as a good experiment. It's probably best I come with you as well. Suspicious as always, Allegern. Child, the world is an exciting place, but it is full of dangers. Rest assured, one of us will get you safely to where you need to be. I'll be right behind you. A sunny smile crosses her faces. Why do you want to go with me? What's in it for you? I won't deny that you are an exciting find. But it's not about that. I just want to see you safely out of the reef. Bullshit! Sorry. My allergies are really playing with me here. Kid, you're not safe here. And not just because you're new. Treasure hunters trawl the reef. Scavengers who would sell you for parts if they knew where you came from. Or what you were. Alright, let's go. And now we can finally walk around a bit. And let's see, what all can we look at here? Alright, so actually, let's see who we have here. Okay, so this is me. There's Allegern, a hardened nano who fights with his demons. Oh! Demons, right? Great. And Callistagi is a cunning nano who pierces realities. 2 nanos and a jack walk into a bar. Alright, so I'm not dominant towards any tide yet. And some people know one tide dominates over the other. These people might be capricious, or they might live their lives in balance. Oh boy. Yeah, we'll see this change every so often.
I'm back. Ooh, are we doing the tides?
I was just looking at, like, right now I don't have any. And, like, that's not... That'll change here in just a minute. Okay. So
I think I ended blue gold, but the interesting thing that I found, while I like the tide system, I think it could be implemented in a little slightly different way, because it, again, while I like it and I think it's really cool, because it's basically here's how you solve problems. It's not really an alignment system. It's more just like what is it in your nature to do when faced with a problem. Um but like I don't actually feel like I feel like I would always be blue gold no matter how I played the game.
Right.
Because I always like I am in the land of let me investigate everything and talk to everyone and try and solve everyone's problem. And that ends with you being blue gold because blue is, you know, curiosity, investigations, you know, trying to find things out through asking lots of questions. And gold is let me help everybody.
Let's see. A mechanical arm lies on the floor, presumably broken during your fall. Sparks pour from the arm's shattered housing, filling the air with a greasy stench. Okay. Sharply pointed apparatus formerly topped the device appears burnt out and useless, but the equipment in the base remains at least somewhat operational, as the constant stream of sizzling motes can attest. I don't think I have any bonus for that. One exploration, lore, or conversation skill. One of one uses per day. Eesh. No, I don't want to use that, but let me leave it alone for now. I want to take a look at my character sheet. Mystical, persuasion, and cipher use. Okay, so that was quick fingers and mechanical.
I'm ready.
Sunlight falls through the ragged hole in the roof onto the shattered resonance chamber. It's hard to believe that you did this, that you plummeted through the curve of the pale blue sky, crashed through the dome, and broke this delicate machine with your own body. It's hard to believe you're still alive. 4 mechanical arms hang over the center of the device above the cracked semi-transparent crystal of the sarcophagus. The 5th arm lies broken on the floor among the scattered synth and crystal shards, and a metal ring surrounds the array, dented and broken by your impact crater. Okay. 5 arms on a circle? Could these be representing the tides?
Nah.
Alright. Take a closer look at that. Padded interior beneath the coffin's cracked lid looks like it was made for a human body. Despite the damage, you don't see any way to open it and get inside. You glance between the sarcophagus and the needle-like protrusions at the ends of the arms above. It seems likely that using this chamber would not be a pleasant experience. Great! Alright, so let's take a look at the arms. Cables run from machines along the dome's walls to the base of the suspended arms, each of which is capped with long needles aimed at the cracked coffin-like chamber at the center of the platform. Gem-like lights flicker dimly at the bases of the arms. Okay, what's the metal ring do? You feel the slightest hint of resistance every time you cross the ring, and now that you're paying attention, you note that your breath is echoing in your ears, as though you were inside a glass dome. When you step outside the ring, the feeling passes. Huh. Like there's some kind of... Like there's some kind of barrier that you can walk through, I think? Weird. Jagged fragments of crystal are intermingled with synth from the shattered dome above. Crystal shards glitter in the light like captive suns. Yeah, let's pick up one of the shards. Why not? Yay! You find a sliver of crystal, sharp as a dagger on one end, smooth on the other. Might make a usable, somewhat crude weapon. There's probably none of the others. Okay. So, I have a thing. It's already been equipped. Okay, so I've got... I can carry up to 4 ciphers. Alright.
Go.
Let's see. I wonder if I could do something with this. 60%. 80. 100. Do I spend the 2 points in speed for full success? Or do I take a chance at 80%? I think I'm going to go ahead with the 100% because I know there are items in this game that will replenish your pools without having to rest. Unless one of these can do the job better. He can, but he doesn't have a hell of a lot to spend on it. And she is the same as her. Yeah, go for it. Taking care to avoid the sparks, you extract several handfuls of shiny trinkets and coin-like objects. You recognize their value at once. Such objects would be accepted as shins, the informal currency in most regions of the world, so you gather them up and take them with you. And what's the spray flesh? Here we go. 8 points of health. Okay. Now these do not take up spots like ciphers. They're not actually ciphers, they're just items. I think that's a little it's a little odd. But I guess this is just to
Done.
It's a little bit different because we have a health bar in this game. If you're actually playing the tabletop, there is no health bar. It's just if you have your 3 pools, your might, your speed, and your intellect, and if you lose all of your, or you spend all of your points in one of those pools, you go down on a damage track. And if all 3 pools are at 0, you're dead.
Yes, now.
What do we have here? 12 shins. There we go. 3 points of intellect and 3 points of speed. Good. Alright.
Ready.
What can we do with this? Slate black, unimpressive device hunkers before you. As you reach out to touch it, the triangle of lights on its casing blazes into life, and an image unfolds in your mind. A towering crystal arch rises over a jagged gray landscape. The air is dead and stifling, and there, at its emerald peak, the image collapses, leaving you staring into the device's triangular array of lights. "Command me," the device, or the intelligence within it, says, each word carefully etched with distaste. Alright. I think I remember this from before. It will not be able to answer the questions. It only responds to commands. But I think that will help me. Towering list of commands races through your mind, far too fast to read. Figures. That's a command! Aw, oh, you bastard. Okay. Show me the arch. This triangle of lights throb in time of the growl. The engines within its casing, and the mental image unfolds once more. You see a huge crystalline arch on a jagged field. The arch is divided into rectangular cells, all of which are numbered, and they appear to be transparent and empty, except At the arch's pinnacle, one cell is lit in a brilliant, pulsating emerald. The number 0 is printed on its side. Okay, I need a thing to write stuff down. Because since I'm going to play this all the way through, I need to keep these notes. Because this is something else that changes with every playthrough. And, like even if I was to save and restore and whatnot, even these clues would be different. So, hang on just one second. Okay, that'll do. Alright. Okay. One thing I have is an abundance of really, really cheap journals. So let me write this down. Alright. Now, let's see if... let's see if I can put that somewhere. There we go. Alright, the number 0 is printed on its side. Try to remember more details. Let's see what happens. Oh boy. Alright, that's without spending any effort. That is spending 1 point of effort. Sure. Aha! See, more stuff. The memory blossoms. You stand before this arch, eyeing the last 2 active cells in once impenetrable Lugum Vo. Alright. Lugum Vo. Unleash cell 29. You say, and a twisted artifact appears before you. You claim it with a faint smile, watching the light fade from the cell far above. You flinch from the memory and it falls apart as you raise your eyes to the arch as it is now. Cell 29 is dark now. Only cell 0 remains. Examine the wasteland. Dry grit whirls across the empty plain. Many kilometers beyond the arch is the faint outline of what seems to be a broken tower, except that it is slowly stretching into the gray air. I'm thinking we go here at some point. You release your mental hold.
I think.
Yeah.
Maybe. If you do, it's the City of the Dead, which is the area after Sega's Cliffs. But other than that, I don't know that it's anywhere.
Okay. Let's give this a shot. Unleash the contents of Cell 0. Yes! The device's lights flutter with incandescent shock, then focus on you, flickering. Cell 0 will now be unleashed. The intelligence spits. Please be advised that the object you are about to receive is completely safe. Use no caution whatsoever. The strange contents of Cell 0 materialize before you. Warning. All cells are now vacant. Shuddering Lugum Vo. Intelligence lights wink out. Gain 3. An unstable detonation. Aha! This is actually a cipher. Deal 6 energy damage, 4 physical to all characters in range. Okay. Interesting that a cast-off can command the changing god's machines. He crosses his arms across his chest. How did you do that? Callistigi rolls her eyes at Aligern, then she looks at you. He'll never stop gnawing on this bone, you know. The truth is wasted on him. She gets a glint in her eye. Though I admit curiosity. How did you do that? Aha! See, again, this is one of those, choices where you can either play it off like you are the changing god, if you play it off being true to being a cast-off, or you can just be dismissive. Yeah, we'll go down this path. Residual memories of a past consciousness. Truly fascinating. Oh, don't act like you know what that was. It was just as likely the machine triggered something past her amnesia. She gives you a meaningful look, then mimics teeth gnashing like an animal gnawing a bone. Om nom nom nom.
Nom?
Nom. Okay. Ah, there it is, the first cipher there. Okay. So I got 2 points spent there, 1 there, nothing there. Have to remember to use some of these whenever I need to. Tiny glowing motes float through the interior. Huh. So this is just a pretty thing. Okay.
Allow me.
I've already looked in that. Nothing else for that. What do we have here? Flexible tubes that are attached to this machine appear to be later additions. Someone cobbled the device together, but its function is unclear. Okay. Anything else? I forget. Is there like a button on the keyboard that can show you what is what you can interact with?
Yes. I'm trying to remember what it is. I want to say it's like Control or Alt or something.
Okay. It's not Control. It's not Alt. It's not Shift. Tab! That's it. That's it.
There it is. It's like, I know it's something, but I couldn't remember what it was.
Alright, I think I've done that too. Yeah, okay. So, I have now looked at everything, so let's go.
On it.
Oh, wait. Before I do that. Something very important. Save! And, oh no, you can look at all of the other saves that I have. There.
All right.
I need to talk to you.
Okay. Why didn't you say so before?
This is the reef of fallen worlds, kid. It's a dangerous place at the best of times. And with you lighting up the sky as you fell... well, we should
God,
get
the
out of here
environment
as soon as
design is so
possible.
pretty. Like, seriously, fuck me. This place is gorgeous.
Yeah. Why were you looking at me when you said that? I wasn't. Don't be so paranoid. Yeah, but when she isn't looking, he raises his eyebrows at you knowingly. Okay. Yeah, what makes the reef so dangerous? The Numenera of the past are always dangerous, but there are other dangers too, some closer than others. He's talking about Callistiki, isn't he?
Well, considering he's about as subtle as a road flare.
Oh, let's see. Okay, what are the Numenera? You want me to tell you? He laughs without mirth. The Numenera are all around you, everything left over from the prior worlds. Sega's Cliffs thrives by trading artifacts from ancient civilizations. Hells, you can't scoop a handful of earth without finding drit from prior worlds mixed with it. Numenera is anything from the prior worlds, but mostly we mean the stuff of value to us. A lot of the Numenera are just oddities, fancy trinkets with little real use, but sometimes you'll get a cipher that lets you do something incredible. Artifacts are worth even more. A cipher will only do something once, but artifacts last a lot longer. Though they can burn out at the most inconvenient times, he frowns. Not that it's ever happened to me. Bullshit! 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 Of course, we've got no idea what most of this junk was originally intended for. In most cases, it doesn't really matter. Like, you might find what used to be a propulsion unit for a star chariot, but who the hell knows enough to build you the rest of it? Better to use it as a weapon or a power source. He scowls, frustrated about something. I bet we could remake the world if we knew a tenth of the secrets of the ancients. Most days, it's a challenge just to survive. So, okay, I'm going to take just a little break to clear my nose and get some milk and cookies. And we'll keep this going, but I'll be right back.
If I knew any funny jokes, I would keep you entertained, but I don't.
Okay, I'm back. Alright. Let's see if we'll get some of his story here. Ask me again when we get out of here. I don't trust this damn reef any more than the company we keep.
I'm an asshole.
He is an up person. Oh.
Just step away for a second.
So what do you think of Callistiki? A parasite disguised as a Scholark. Don't be surprised if she betrays you before the day is done. Actually, that'd be slow for her. Has issues. Oh yeah, let's talk about the tattoos that we can't really see from here. Oh, these, they're nothing. Call them a consolation if you must. He smiles grimly. Some call them by worse names, but that's because they've had occasion to run afoul of these little snakes. He looks away. His line of questioning is clearly at an end. Alright. Let's keep going.
Alright.
Forward. Onward.
Of course.
I'm just looking around. That had to suck. I mean, I'm guessing that hole was not there until our wonderful cast-off had,
Now.
let's see. Water is clear, almost unnaturally so, revealing ruins upon ruins as far as you can see. Yeah, that's a little odd for it to be like that. Okay.
Of course.
Yay, more shins.
Poke all the things.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember some of this stuff.
I'm going.
Let's talk to them first. Two floating cones whirl and spin deliriously around each other, giggling like children being tickled. The air around them smells of sweet, burning leaves.
I swear they have random, like, sensory generators over in the Monty Cook Games thing, because, like, some of these, it's just like, how did you come up with that, other than a lot of drugs?
Also children. Now, wasn't it one of Monty Cook's kids came up with the idea of dragon dinosaurs?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Sorry, cookies. The longer you stare at these artifacts, the more you're convinced that they turn faster when their spiraling paths cross each other. Their edges seem to trace faint glowing lines that twine around each other, resembling a rope fastened to some invisible point beyond this time and place. This is like... I don't know why, but the first thing that comes to my mind is... they're the equivalent of girls, jumping rope. I don't know why that just came to me, but... Sure, let's try talking to it. What's the worst that can happen? Okay.
Don't say that.
Yay! Alright, let's see what happens. Stat pool spent on effort restored. You managed to graze one of them with the tip of your finger. Roarn, a voice says, and your vision is stolen from you. A moon hangs over you, but it's not the one you recognize. It's black and in a pearl-white sky. Thick, flat asteroids orbit it like petals in the wind. You feel questing tendrils at your ankle, and the hot wind on your face smells of scorched hair and grief. What? Wait. Smells of scorched hair and grief? That's like describing a drink made from a bartender tastes like pain.
I know what that tastes like.
Yeah.
So I know what you're talking about.
Okay. The cones greet your question with a split second of hushed silence, followed by delighted peals of helpless giggling. They aren't for anything. They're from one of the worlds before this one. Allegren rubs a hand along his stubbled jaw. Sometimes the Numenera will do something useful. Sometimes they'll turn you inside out. And sometimes they don't do a damn thing that makes sense. I've often said the same thing about you, darling, Callistigi murmurs. I don't know about you, but they sound like people who used to date and are still bitter about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, let's see what's over here.
Yes.
Without doubt.
A matte black obelisk floats in midair above the water. It has sharp, curved sides that converge to a glowing tip that brightens or dims with the passing of the bay's faint breezes. Is anyone else seeing one of the beacons from Mass Effect? The Prothean beacons that, you know, like, okay, I'm gonna touch it, and then I get flooded with all kinds of... Yeah. Let's touch it! You raise your hand toward the obelisk. Dull green light wells from within the black stone, fixed on you like a furious eye. I knew someone who did what you're about to do, Allegren says casually. Aeon Priest. A beam came out the top of that thing and ripped his face off. Made a fancy nightlight out of his crystal necklace, though. But hey, I'm sure you know what you're doing. Oh, hush. At least that poor priest died in service of his curiosity rather than stumbling about the coast complaining and feeling sorry for himself. Go ahead if you must, she tells you, ignoring Allegren's glare, but do be careful.
Back out and save?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Okay,
I'm ready.
let's try it again. I'm gonna try the shard. Carefully, you level the shard at the obelisk. The superheated beam lances from the tip of the structure into the crystal, sending vibrations up your arm and suffusing the shard with a warm green glow.
Good balance.
Yes! So what exactly did that do for me? It's infused.
Fancy.
Huh. Well, okay then.
Yes.
Now, what are these things that look like hands? tangled cluster of metallic tendrils grows from the depths of the nearby water. Strangely, they resemble clawed alien hands, most of which has 7 or 8 fingers. The hands sway softly, but their movements are difficult to follow. Watching them for too long makes you feel nauseous. Apart from the hands themselves, you don't notice anything of interest in the cluster. I don't know. You gain XP by exploring. You grip the hand nearest to you and snap it from its roots. Stepping back, you give it a couple experimental swings. Good balance. Might make a decent weapon. Okay. You aren't happy unless you're breaking things, are you? It's called experimentation. Alright, that's a medium melee weapon. I can't use medium weapons, I don't think. No, I can.
But you might eventually end up with somebody who can.
Let's see. It's me. Basic attack using might. Base attack using speed. Really doesn't make a difference. Let's see, that's 3 physical damage plus another 3 damage per effort. This is 4 physical and 3 chemical, and plus 2 more damage per effort. So that's a base of 7. This is a base of 3. Plus 15%. Well, if I'm lucky, we won't have to use it that much. Oh, wait a minute.
Go.
I'm
going.
This I do remember. Bubbling massive sludge floats on the surface of the water. Every once in a while, an oily nodule separates from it and hurls into the sky. You catch momentary glimpses of a muck-coated object in the putrid mass. When I examine, okay. You lean closer to the heaving mass. After a moment of study, you notice that the globules rising into the sky always contain something, be it a shining core of untainted seawater or a tiny fish. There we go. The next time sunlight strikes the object's streaked surface, you're ready. You snatch it from the oily mass and clean it as best you can. Oop. Heals 10 points of intellect and confers +1 intellect edge. 5 uses. Nice. I'm not sure whether that awful muck is harmless or you're immensely lucky. Either way, do go on poking things, dear. It's quite entertaining. No, I'm done. Intake marks the front of a long dead construct. Inside the middle is pitted, black, and ancient. Okay.
You should probably save.
Yeah.
Not trying to tell you how to play the game or anything, but just trust me on this one. There is no autosave, so you are fucked if you forget to save. Well, there is an autosave. Yeah, but it doesn't autosave very often.
Yeah, I think it only autosaves every time you go to another area.
Maybe they updated it then, because it didn't do that before. It used to only update, like, if you did a main quest thing.
Okay. Alright, what do we have here? And these things are really cool. Just let's look at all the things. Oh, good. More things to loot. Alright, let's see. How is that looking? Okay, that's fine. I do like that there are different backpacks for each person. Instead of it being just one, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going in here. I kind of remember what's in here, and I don't have what I need to get in here yet.
Of course.
Yeah, I think I didn't end up doing this place.
Yes, now.
Let's do it.
Massive construct was trying to climb across the top of the reef when it died. Its surface is pocked with tiny scars and scorch marks. This, although this cube hovers in the air, you can feel the ground shudder with its vibrations. Okay, I remember this. This was actually on one of the, one of the previews before this, before the game even came out. We're about to meet some friends! Cobalt petals fold over a short metal stem. Calcified minerals hold the ancient weapon closed. Okay. Let's see. Alright.
Yes.
Hi, friends!
By the way, I should point out that while this feels like it is a, is he actually reading this?
No, no.
Okay. I couldn't remember if this was actually voiced. If I remember playing this and thinking that this is like, oh, congratulations, it's like one of your first combats, so it's required. You can actually talk your way out of this.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can. Alright. Sorry, I needed more cookies. As you step onto what looks like the back of the enormous construct, 4 strangers approach you. In the lead is a wiry man with parallel scars running from cheek to collarbone on the left side of his face. He gives you a welcoming smile, pulling on gray gloves embedded with pulsing lights. He's about to say something to you when he notices Callistigi. Cal! I thought you'd sworn off trawling the reef. Found anything tasty? His eyes travel up and down both you and Allegern. Odds and ends, Coro. Nothing that would interest you, I'm sure. Her words are calm, but she's gone quite still. Yeah, let's let them catch up. They seem to be friends. His hand curls into a fist at his side. I was wondering specifically if you had seen a falling star that landed near here not long ago. I've seen nothing of the sort, dear Coro. Her lips close thinly. And bluff! Bluff! What about your friends? He turns to you. I know most of the draft that scavenges the reef these days. It's a rare pleasure to see a new face. Let's see. Let's see how long we can keep talking. Two things are more dangerous than death in this world, he says, his smile widening. Asking impolite questions of strangers and playing with Numenera you don't fully understand. My error was in the latter category, and I've grown more careful since. And so what you're trying to say is that my error is going to be in the former. I could try a deception. Now let's try this. Land. Well, if I knew that, I wouldn't be reduced to harassing noble travelers. I never saw it, you see. My employer did. And thought, who is the most trustworthy team I can send at a moment's notice? He winks. Luckily, they were on another assignment. We were interested and weren't too drunk yet, so... Just keep talking. What interests you? How kind of you to ask. So few people are interested in the tangled motivations of paid explorers. He spreads his arms as if holding the sky and continues. The world is littered with ruins and fascinating secrets. Trouble is, anyone can claim them. But when something falls from the sky, that's rarer, and a man can make his name off such a find. He pauses and adds, we're also being paid quite handsomely. That helps. Enough chat, I think, he says, and there's no humor in his smile now. Where's the fallen star? Excuse me. Let's try this deception. Put her at 7, that'll put me at 4. Ooh, it'll put him at 3. Sure. Ha 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 ha. Oro studies you for a long moment before saying, alright. Well, do let us know if you spot anything of interest. I'd like to say we pay for the privilege, but if we were rich, we wouldn't be down here, would we? Nice!
You succeed in talking your way out of it?
Yeah. Nice thinking, kid.
Yeah, the first time that I played through it, I think on the beta, was, I just, like, let it go straight to combat. I was just like, yeah, there's no way to get around this guy. We're gonna have to fight him. But then I just decided I would really try to get around it the next time, and sure enough, I did.
Nice thinking, kid. That would have been a fiasco. You figured out why they were here, right? Yeah. Oh, sure. And they just had that ambush ready to go at the same time as we're leaving. No, kid. Callistiki sold us out. Excuse me? Are you suggesting I had something to do with Quoro's plans? Are you suggesting you didn't? An old friend of yours just happens to be waiting for us, armed and outnumbering us, as we return from the greatest find the reef has seen in years. It's too convenient for me, too convenient by far. Of all the idiotic, paranoid delusions, you really believe this, don't you? You really believe I'd use a half-wit like Quoro to stab you in the back rather than do it myself? You see, kid, she'll stab you in the back first chance she gets, most likely in your sleep. He throws up a hand, forestalling Callistiki's retort. Look, I don't care. Fact is, I can't trust her anymore, and I wonder why I ever did. This is the last we traveled together. I've got enough to worry about without having to watch my back 28 hours a day. He turns to you. You coming, kid, or what? Okay. That is not just him exaggerating to be a shit. The world really does revolve in 28 hours. It's all part of the way that everything is here. So the ninth world is Earth 1 billion years into the future, and they call it the ninth world because there have been 8 previous worlds before it. One managed to create something called the data sphere, which is it's like the internet on steroids that is it's ethereal, and you can actually tap into it if you have the ability to do so. There's another one that managed to enter other realities, another one that managed to build huge interstellar ships. Others, there was another one that harnessed I want to say stellar bodies, and that one was the one that saved the Earth by fixing the sun. So, I think, like, I want to say our sun has roughly 500 million years left in its cycle before it'll expand to a red giant and suck up all of the inner planets of the solar system. Well, one world stopped that from happening and managed to keep the sun as it was, but also they figured out how to push some of the other planets back from their original orbits. So I think it takes more than 365 days to make 1 year, and also because of the way that because the way that the Earth is slowing, it's now at 28 hours instead of 24 hours in a day. Okay, I'm done explaining. Here we go. He snorts bitter laughter. You don't think she was trying to betray us? Like, I do. You haven't seen 1/10 of her depths, not 1/20th. She's a backstabbing bitch, mark my words. You are insufferable to the end, Alagern. Looking for the worst in a situation is the only way you know to see. Do you know how long I've carried your pain for you? How much I've had to turn away from your judgmental stares? But you're right. I've had enough. She turns to you. Child, I'm happy to guide you, but I will not walk another step with this paranoid buffoon. Finally, something we agree on, he growls. Kid, she'll chop off your head and spit down your throat. I'll get you where you need to go, and let you sleep at night to boot. It's up to you. I'll be nice and just ask. There. Why can't you just work it? Mommy, Daddy, don't fight. She bursts out.
I think we did find out if you can, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll give it a shot. My dear girl, we have been working it out. Alagern's petulance, his obstinacy in the face of fact, drive me away every day. He might be strong, but he's also thick. I dare you to try traveling with him and see how long you endure. Not as long as I have, I'll wager. His face darkens under her accusations, but he managed a pained smile. As if you're doing me a favor by staying with me. Do you think I don't see your true self in all those echoes around you? That's you, Callistigi. Every facet of it. Your vivisectionist's heart hasn't changed, just the way you present it. I thought I could help you, but... Wow. I wonder what'll happen if you actually choose not to travel with either of them.
You know, I don't know. I mean, it definitely would be something worth doing if you, if there's still, like, hangers-on that you need to do their story.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I choose her. Right. Well, if you want me, and she doesn't sell you for parts, you can find me in the underbelly. But not with her, mind you. I'll let you know what you've missed, Alagern. I'm sure you won't be. Missed, that is. She links her arm possessively into yours. Let's go, child. We have a world to conquer. Yay! Alright, let's see what else can we poke at.
Of course.
The shallow-like depression on the surface here, like many others scattered around the construct. Unlike the others, energy still pulses around this one at random intervals. A slight yet implacable sense of unease emanates with each wave of energy. There's a loose lens at the center of the depression. You think you could redirect the psychic effect somewhere more useful, but it'll be tricky to get to it in between the energy pulses. Without any antagonist to aim it toward, the device doesn't serve any obvious purpose. Ah! That was an environmental weapon you could have used if you decided to fight it out.
I'm going.
Yes.
I'm guessing this was too. A lambent green fluid drips from end of the device's nozzle and hisses angrily on the metal surface beneath. Without any antagonist yeah. Okay. Yeah, alright.
Yes, now.
Oh wait,
In an instant.
before I do that, let's save again. And this takes a minute because, yay, we've actually made it! We seek the order of truth, so we must first reach Government Square. The easiest way is via the staircase. Okay. Well, I've been on for 2.5 hours, and honestly, I kind of want to, like, what do you think, Bird? I'm half tempted to take a stop here, because this feels like a pretty good place to stop.
Yeah, if your voice is getting out, yeah, I would stop here because you're about to get into let's collect all the quests land, and you're liable to forget what you've done.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you probably could get through this first area of Sega's Cliffs in half an hour, but it'll be a lot of reading, and you'll likely forget everything that you've done.
Yeah, I feel like I would enjoy it more if I spent an entire episode of just, you know, like, let's take this portion of this area and let's work on that, and then let's go to the next one and get the quests and everything, because the last time I played this, I spent a long time here.
Yeah, Sega's Cliffs definitely takes the cake for, you know, biggest questing area, most shit to do. The Bloom is close, but this is definitely... Sega's Cliffs is probably, just by itself, is like over a third of the game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're ending a little bit early tonight, but at the same time, I'm still fighting allergies. Hopefully, I won't be so bad the next time that we play, but yeah, let's.
We should be back next week with same time, same station with Rift. And hopefully
yes.
also with an Addy.
Yeah, so we'll be back with Addy next Tuesday. And also, this Saturday, October 7th, I am streaming with the group from Not Your Mama's Gamers Gaming for Good initiative. We're raising funds for Puerto Rico. So there'll be, you can find us on Facebook, or you can go to Not Your Mama's Gamer's website for more information. And
Do you know what you're gonna play?
give me a second here. I'll have to. The music cut out here for just a second. I'm going to okay, this is going to be it's going to be a little outside my realm of normal games that I play, but I'm going to try Hustle Cat. It's
Oh Jesus.
yeah, for one, it's on thank you for putting that up there, Birdie. So Hustle Cat is a dating sim that takes place in a cat cafe. I picked it up for $1 on Humble Bundle. And I've never played. If I've ever played a dating sim, it's been so long that I don't remember if I've ever played it before. But it's a cat cafe, and it just looked adorable. And so we'll see how long I can go through it. Maybe I will finish the whole thing in 3 hours. Maybe not. But yes, the website for Not Your Mama's Gamer is in the chat. And people are going to be gaming all day on October 7th. I mean, from midnight to midnight. So, and I think my time slot is 9 to 12 Eastern, so 8 to 11 a.m. Central. I like the 8 a.m. slots on a Saturday because my idea of sleeping in is waking up at 7. So, so yes, if you have the chance, come by and see me and laugh as I try to play a dating sim. If you can't make it, then I guess we will see you on Tuesday.
Yes, indeed. Have a good night.
Good night.